You guys know Dave Rubin, the really smart guy who doesn't just have his virtue signaling and talking points. No, very enlightened guy, went from being a liberal. Well, actually, I guess he still is a liberal. I don't know. That's what he claims. But we're going to be looking at a quote from his that I saw on Twitter that I wanted to highlight because it's so hilarious, man. Like I said in my previous year, just talking about Dave Rubin, is that this guy is the biggest virtue signaler virtually on the planet. Honestly, I think he really is, because you go by any of his speeches whatsoever, the words that you will hear mostly is either SJW, identity politics, regressive left. Those will be the main things that you hear. And you'll just hear him over and over and over and over again. Not talking about any policy substance, nothing political, just identity politics, SJWs, blah, 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 blah. That's all he is. That's his entire being, his vapid being. But here's what, I guess he was giving a talk at the Oxford Union or some shit. Here's this quote. It says, "Identity politics is the biggest threat to the West. We will tear ourselves apart. If you had a heart attack, you'd want the best doctor available, not a doctor appointed on the basis of some immutable characteristic." So he says appointed? What do you mean appointed doctor? What the fuck? What kind of appointee is a doctor? How does he get appointed to care for you? That doesn't make any fucking sense. But this is just so stupid. Really? Identity politics is the biggest threat to the West, not money and politics and the corruption that is, in which there are issues where the American people agree over 90%, but Congress and the legislature and our government votes in the other direction because they have special interest funding them. That's not the problem. That's not the problem we have in the United States. 40,000 people die every year because they don't have access to basic health care. That's not the most important thing. Think about all the people that are in poverty in the United States. That's not the biggest problem. There's nothing else that you think is the biggest problem for the West. Literally nothing else. Nothing at all. None of those things. No, hey, we literally have a possibility of a student loan debt crisis being the possible next crash of the economy, because it's going to be, people are going to start defaulting. They're going to have to default eventually. So there's no issue. There's no substance going on here. What is this? And then it's just straw man after straw man after straw man. And this is what I hate. Really? If you had a heart attack, you want the best doctor available. No shit, Sherlock. What motherfucker goes, I want a doctor that's black? Who the fuck does that? Or, okay, you might say that, oh, he's meaning that the process of getting doctors is to have them be, minorities or whatever. I don't understand it really, but it just doesn't make any fucking sense, dude. Who cares about that in the doctor field? Nobody does. Nobody gives a shit about that. That's such a straw man. Of course everybody wants the best doctor available. That's what we want. That's what we do. But the idea that identity politics, of all the things, again, 40,000 people die every single year because they have a lack of access to basic health insurance. But the biggest problem to you is identity politics? Are you fucking kidding me? Of all of the things that you could be focusing on right now, even if it's something that you disagree with me on, whether you be taxation is theft and we must stop it, at least I would say, okay, that's more of a threat, even though it's bullshit. I'd say even that's more of a threat than this shit. Identity politics? What the fuck is wrong with you? What is your entire life? What do you do? Do you ever talk about anything that's not has the terms regressive left or identity politics or SJW in it? Do you have anything to add in any way, shape, or form to any of the conversations that American people are having? Literally anything, honestly, other than identity politics, man. Oh my god, SJWs, holy shit. Dude, we got a problem on our hands. Dude, like, what the fuck? Like, again, I've already cemented my stance, and I will continuously. I am firmly against both identity politics and crazy SJW people, especially ones who are shutting down people from speaking. People should not be shut down from speaking at colleges, whatever the fuck they're doing, But identity politics is the biggest threat to the West? This is where people should lose Dave Rubin. Even people, because I saw this on Ben Shapiro's page. He retweeted it. So even people like Ben Shapiro should be the people who go, holy fuck. That's not the biggest problem. We want to remove Obamacare. We want to repeal Obamacare. Look at all these people getting getting health care who can't afford it. Holy shit. We need to remove that right away. That's what they should be saying, at least. Or maybe taxes are too high. Too much theft in taxation. Whatever the fuck it may be, right? Come on, man. How embarrassing is this? Is this ever going to end? Like, is this constant circle of, I'm going to virtue signal over and over and over and over and over again, and then you give me Patreon money, and you buy tickets to my shitty stand-up comedy where you come to my stand-up comedy gig, and I ask you what your political affiliation is, and we all have a really great laugh, because for some reason you guys find it funny when I ask whether you're conservative, or whether you're libertarian, or whether you're progressive. That's so fucking funny. So I'm just gonna keep doing it, you guys, and just laugh with me. Like, dude, fuck you, man. This is so dumb. Identity politics is not the biggest problem to the West. The biggest problem to the West is our shitty healthcare system, where people go bankrupt all the time. And then people don't have, there's so many people who don't even fucking have health insurance. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, dude. And Trump is destroying so many things that we have diplomacy-wise. He just destroyed the Iran deal. So, dude, identity politics is a minuscule little piece of shit. And like I've said, I've already cemented my position. I will continue to do so in opposition to both identity politics and crazy SJWs. But identity politics the biggest threat to the West? Really, motherfucker? No. No. It's not.